your reflection, then baby, you must be an angel. 'Cause when the light hits you just right, one could mistake you for a star. That is exactly what you are. Better to consider all of the good things. A glimpse in the mirror to make sure you are still there. Yeah. But then the night takes over.
My name is Zarina, and I am the CEO and proprietor of Balanced Steam Spa. Well, after going through a really rough separation, I just felt like my whole life was just out of whack. Mentally, I just wasn't on the right page. It was a lot going on, and balance is something that I really needed to kind of get myself back on track, and even to this day, it's something that I hold on to, daily. I've been in the beauty industry for over 25 years. As of recently, I've really started to hone in on my own health. And us as females have a really hard time getting to see and getting to know what works for us when it comes to our personal matters, so to speak. So I think that it's really important for us to hone in on what works for us, but also to share, that information. That's the one hard part that I know that women of color especially, we find something that works for us and we're very tight-lipped on sharing. Or we'll share, but we don't necessarily give all the details and the facts that we need to. And I think that it's important for us to educate each other.
How important is to have a balanced steam spa in communities? Like, we're kind of still in the pandemic, right?
We are, and this is exactly why we need this business and so many other businesses like it. I'm on Morris Avenue. I know there's a young lady that's actually in the building next to me that does the same thing that I do. And I encourage us being close and us getting to know one another, because I think it's really important to do what we do. Here, when you come in, you get a service like no other. You literally are detoxing the body. So from the feet all the way to the top of the head. You're getting a massage that's actually detoxing. It's taking out, whatever's on the base of the skin, and it's kind of opening up those pores to allow, good things in, vitamins and things of that nature, different serums that we put on the skin. Also, it's also good to detox, the male and female, personal areas are very important to me to take care of, because a lot of people feel like, well, the vagina is self-cleaning. It is. But we all need a little assistance in every area, of our lives. And I think that it's really important to understand, when you come in to get a steam, you're not necessarily just working on that personal area. There's other areas of the body that the steam helps with, detoxing the feet, pulling all those toxins down through the body. The feet hold a lot of toxins by themselves, but they are the base for things that enter and exit the body. A lot of people don't know that. So it's really important to take care of the feet as well as, all your important body parts. I didn't face many obstacles. I prayed over it. I honestly manifested everything that I really had coming. So I didn't face a whole bunch of obstacles. If I could say that I did face any obstacles, I think the main thing for me would be just getting into a really great area, because the area that you're in, the demographic that you're trying to reach is everything. So being in this area is awesome. I'm on Morris Avenue. I'm literally right where there's a bus stop. I'm minutes from the train. And I also have some friends and family that provide Uber and Lyft services. So, if there's somebody that couldn't get to us, we'd definitely be able to help. But I think that location is everything. I'm grateful for that. It's so vast. I can't really even provide any specifics, because you know, again, women of color, we've been doing it for so many years, but we don't know that, you know, women in Asia, Eastern Europe, you know, all over, we've been doing it. Again, tight-lipped, not sharing that secret, you know. And there's so many things that we're finding out now that are natural healing, and, you know, anything that may be organic, you know, you want to kind of put that into the body. But the skin is very important also. The skin is like the biggest organ on the body, you know. So if you're not taking care of the skin and that outside, you know, as well as that inside, it's kind of like one is not meeting the other. You're defeating the purpose. My motivation, honestly, I had a failed business before, and it didn't feel good, you know, but the reality of it is friends and family are not always going to be the ones that support you. I'm grateful that I have an awesome support system. My friends and family are everything. They send customers to me, they'll refer people to me, but I think that it's really, 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 my basis, me personally, is just kind of like, I have that tunnel vision. You know what I mean? So, I think that's the main thing with me, just kind of staying focused. It's hard as an entrepreneur. Focus is one of the things that's hard, but also being ambitious enough to want to get up every day and do what you do. Whether you're failing, whether you're paying the rent out of your own pocket and you have 2 and 3 jobs to make sure you can make ends meet, you know, whether people are supporting or not supporting, whether you have people that have come one time to your business and literally will try to sabotage you. You know, it's so many things that come with it. It takes a lot of faith and patience. When you first come here, I usually request that everyone take off their shoes. You're removing your shoes, honestly, because, you know, we're going through COVID and we're going through a pandemic, but also I think it's important to remember, you know, when you see people outside, they spit on the ground, people will throw trash on the ground, you know, our shoes touch that daily. You know, so in my household at home, you know, we take our shoes off at the door. It's a sign of respect, and it's also a sign of you know, wanting to keep toxins and dirt and all of those nasty negative cooties out of the door. Because I feel like it's really important to understand when you come to the door, you're not really just coming back in your house by yourself. You know, you're bringing those energies and those auras, but also the germs, you know. And your feet are the first place that hit the ground. So coming in the door, you have to take your shoes off. That's the first thing before you enter in the sanctuary. Once you take your shoes off, you actually can grab a bottle of water. There's tea in the front. I usually have some type of tonic or something up there for my clients that are detoxing. It's really important to make sure when you come in the door, you literally leave everything that you have going on at that door. Just like when you come home from work or school, you know, when you come home to your own home, you know, it's just like, leave the nonsense at the door. When you come in here, let it go. And then to add to that experience, I usually like to leave socks for, you know, a lot of my clients, so that way you come in, you literally, even if you have on a pair of socks, you can take those off or you can put them on top of what you have on. I just don't want any shoes inside. Again, detoxing, you know, keeping an area clean, and we want to kind of like make sure that we're keeping that throughout the entire facility. Once you take off your shoes, and if you need any products to come in with your service, as far as like a scrub, or sometimes people will get like a foot massage, so I'll use a certain specific foot scrub for them. It just depends on what they need. Once they're done with that, then I bring them into the sanctuary to either get changed, to come out of clothing, or to get changed, whether they're getting a facial or massage. I still want them to be comfortable. So I have the room set up, make sure everything is warm and cozy, and just kind of make sure that they have what they need. It's nothing but faith that gets me through. Honestly, you know, you have a goal, you're trying to meet that goal. You know, with a kid in college, they don't want to hear when that tuition is due what else you have going on. They want that money. You know, and I think that's one of the things that kind of was a rude awakening for me. Like, once I started to see what I could be paying per month for my daughter's tuition, I was like, wow, I really have to have a hustle, or, you know, 2 or 3 hustles under my belt. And once I found out about a class, you know, with this, and I was kind of interested in it at first, and then my cousin kind of pushed me into the direction of her girlfriend, who was like, come on down to Georgia, I'll give you any class you need. And when I got there, she just literally opened my eyes to so many different things. You know, we don't really pay attention to how our bodies operate and work until we start to notice what we're using and putting inside, you know, on our skin and inside of our bodies, and the reaction that we have to it, it's not always the best. So I think that that's one of the things. It's kind of like, if you thrive off of what you do and you really kind of like hone in on what you want to do in the future, and that's kind of your basis for that push, you know what I mean? Because entrepreneurship, honestly, every day could be tears. Every day it could be breakdowns. Every day it could be frustration. And then adding a full-time job, single parent, honestly, kind of like the head of the household, you know what I mean? It's a lot. But you still have to maintain, because at the end of the day, my rent has to be paid here. My rent has to be paid at home. My bills still have to be paid. My kids still have to eat. You know, emergencies come up. So trying to make sure that I set myself up to where just opening my doors to my business are not the only way for me to eat is important for me. So I have the retail, you know, I sell scrubs online, all homemade, all organic, all handmade, you know, good stuff. I sell, you know, Himalayan sea salts that are literally like organic, all fresh made. You know, everything that I have here is kind of like me pushing for people to feel like they're pampered from the time they come in the door to the time they leave. When you leave, I'm giving you a goodie bag to take with you. These are some aftercare products on the house, you know what I mean? But it's just, that's what gives me that push, knowing that my clients are taken care of, that they're happy, that they can go on the site and order something and they don't have to worry about contacting me about their shipping and handling. I'll deliver something if I have to. Anything to make sure that my clients have what they need, it gives me that push to make sure that I can advance in whatever I'm doing. I would love to have a nice size spa, and I'd like to have space where I can kind of bring people in and teach, you know, whatever I know, you know, to people. I have a lot of people that say, well, do you give classes? And it's like, I could give a class, but me personally, I don't want to put myself in a position to where I'm scraping your pockets dry to put money in my pockets, and I'm trying to teach you something. And we can kind of like, you know, use that barter system. I might need you in a way. You know, my girlfriends and I, we kind of put together this system of sisters in success where we can kind of thrive off of each other and become resources to one another. And we're literally putting that together now. Some of my coworkers and some of my entrepreneur friends, we're going to come together, because I think it's really important. You know, we have resources, but we, again, tight-lipped. You know, other races, they get together and they're on it. You know, I watch people at my job. I just saw something the other day about some Hispanics. One got fired, they all left. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't care what race you are. We are supposed to take care of one another, period. That's it. End of story. And a lot of people out here, again, it's all about self. But you can't really advance if it's just you. You know, it has to be a group of us, a community. You know what I mean? So. We're located at 2816 Morris Avenue. That's in Union. Suite 30, so I'm on the top floor. So you're gonna get some exercise coming to me. And my suite is 30. So a lot of times people will see the boards downstairs. They do say exactly where I am, but sometimes I'm hard to find. The very last suite on the top floor, right-hand side. Hi, this is Zarina, CEO and proprietor of By SHOOTWITHHAZ Spa. Come on in, let me show you around.